Hello there, Site-42 staff, and those of you from the greater SCP Foundation in general, otherwise known as our Containment Hazard Assessment Team, or CHAT. And welcome to another coffee break at Site-42, a coffee break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. Yes, as always, for 5.5 months and going on, the streak continues. We update you, the Foundation staff, about the mysterious inner workings of the SCP Foundation that we all know and love. Now, whether that be the anomalies we contain, or the staff that contains them, the groups of interest who want those anomalies for various purposes, or hypothetical containment procedures for anomalies that fall outside of the Foundation's purview. Perhaps it's from a multiversal thing or a pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. I'm here to answer your questions for the next hour. Now, hold on. Before I get into the bulk of today's stream, a little bit of housekeeping. So, Prime Motions, congratulations on your exceptional punctuality, being the first chatter of the day. Meanwhile, Amber, Junior Researcher HLG, Dr. Puppeteer, Junior Researcher Sally, Researcher Voidell, Dr. Dyshern, Java Name, Light Steve, Anna and Friends, Dr. Puppeteer, Zombie Cat, all of you who I have thusly named, thank you not only for your excellent punctuality, but thank you also for being members of the Site-42 channel. We appreciate your service and your membership. Meanwhile, let's say Alker Moniz, Blue Lightning, Bitter Giggle, and Logan. Welcome to Site-42's stream today, just for being you. Des, good to see you up and running and ready for action today. And before I get into today's main subject, allow me one more piece of housekeeping. Today's stream is sponsored. This is the very last day to get yourself a copy of the SCP-3008 Infinite Furniture Store comic book, Maze of Shelves. Episode 2 is being kickstarted right now. A full-color, physical, and digital comic book that you can enjoy an original story within the bounds of the Infinite Furniture Store. And also, it comes with multiples of variant covers. This is the Dr. Sherman variant cover for Episode 1. There's also a secondary variant cover for Episode 2 featuring myself and SCP-4521, that bastard tree that will scream, I promise it will. And so, you can check out the second cover. I think it's looking particularly good. And how much is it again? Well, Zombie Cat, the links in our description or in our Site-42 support link that is pinned at the chat will lead you to the Kickstarter. That Kickstarter is funded, but they're looking for stretch goals. It's always good to, plus, there's a limited supply of comics after the Kickstarter, so it's better to get a guaranteed copy if you want to get it. Meanwhile, it looks like 2 for $30, $35 for the variant covers, yes. And then they have packages, special deals that include both episodes and things like that. You can see this all at the links in my description or in the support link. Thank you for Site-19 Comics for partnering with us. Now, Puppet Boy, you have found the new emotes. Yes, I've been having those in the emote folder, and I have not uploaded those in a little bit, but the green names now have access to George the Chinchilla and Josie the Half Cat. Although once junior researcher Sally and I finish up cooking up the full spectrum of emotes that we're putting together, everything will get a bit of an update. Robin St. Pierre, thank you for being the first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a pint of ice cream on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, you just lost the game. To all those who read this message, I'm not sorry. What game are you playing? I am, confusing, but okay. Zerdrin, thank you for your 26-month member message. We appreciate your tenure here as a level 1 researcher at Site-42. The research that you have done in helping us win the battle against the White Names has been pivotal. We appreciate your membership and your service. So, today's main subject matter, you'll see it in the stream title: Amnestics, Anti-Memetics, and Other Forgettables. Steve does not remember ever working for the Foundation, ever working for me. And beyond the fact that we can't get intelligence from Steve in this state, I don't like I had a grandfather with Alzheimer's. It was rather affecting. So this sort of scenario does not appeal to me. The funny thing is that when we can use SCP Amnestics and Nestics freely, this thing doesn't very often come up as much as you'd think. Now, Eloise, you're mentioning SCP-067, and I do have that on a requisition coming in. So when that arrives, we can give it a try. Maybe at least we'll get some information, but it would be much nicer if Steve recovered. So today, it is research. Today, I want to look into amnestics, nestics, memetics, anti-memetics, and I want to figure out what the hell we can do to maybe speed up the situation. Thank you for alerting me that I actually forgot to read Zerdrin's message. Sorry, it's a bit of a day around these parts. Anti-memetic this, Dr. Sherman, activates B's meme. Oh, the SCP Foundation will never escape the B allegations. That's for sure. Meanwhile, are you allowed to use art as your profile on Discord? Well, Dark Duality, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some gelato on your way past the commissary. And art as profile on Discord. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, but I would assume that your profile picture on Discord can be whatever you like it to be, correct? We don't have any rules about profile pictures as long as they aren't like, you know, crazy offensive or something like that. Mr. Scum, you are correct. SCP-067 is in fact a pen. A pen that if you hold it in your hand, it causes your arm to act of its own free will and write your life story, including memories that you don't even remember. That's why people are suggesting we use it on Steve, and once the transfer from its current site of containment to us happens, I would love to put that to use. I will sell my soul to Satan to get SCP-4521 to scream. Hey, if it helps, I am all for that. I'm certain we can send you over to, what is that? What site is that anomaly stored at? SCP-3008, the Devil's Deal, is currently locked down at... Weird. This isn't giving a site listing for containment of the object. I wonder if that just means that they're treating, they always treat 19 like the default anyways. Interestingly, 738 has an exact plus 1,000 vote rating right now. Exactly plus 1,000. I wonder who's going to be the first one to mess that up. Dr. Sherman, what SCP you wrote would be your favorite? I mean, how does one choose among their children, right? But I can for sure say that the gym look is definitely gym look and hair tonic by Dado are both, they're just silly little articles. They're not really that deep, so to speak. Not that I dislike them, they're just not as important, so to speak, in my thinking of the SCPs I wrote. 5886, I really like the mood, and I relate to everything around being too slow, and you need to always be going, and the world is too slow around you. I relate to that feeling. So that one's very high up on my list. Obviously, What I Did for Love is my most popular article by far on the wiki, highest rated, and with good reason. I really managed to hit the mark on that one. And of course, George the Chinchilla by default. My first SCP entity, nice format gimmick. So there's a lot to love there. I guess those would be my top three. George... What I Did for Love, and Jim Biggio. I think that's about as close as I can get to saying a favorite, is I'll give you those top three. Java name. Welcome to Overseer level membership here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, and we will look to your guidance as the Battle of the White Names continues. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. My little way of saying I found the SCP Discord. Oh, congratulations. The Easter egg hunt is successful for you. Love to see it. Jonathan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Twix on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I have the vase of 1,000 whispers. Please don't drop... God damn it. Ow, I think a whisper got in my eye. Jeez. Unnecessary. You gotta be careful with that thing. Ack. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a caramel apple on your way past the commissary. Hair swoop so aesthetically pleasing today. Also, hi, how are you? Yes, well, thank you. We are having a good swoop day. And, you know, I'm a little stressed out, frustrated. I would very much like it if we could find a way to regain Steve's memory. For multiple reasons. Super Gamer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a cup of tea at the commissary, and since you didn't add a message to your donation, just thank you for your generosity. And Dr. Cullivan, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a candy apple on your way past the commissary. Hey boss, day one of spooky treats. Mint Oreo and dark Hershey chocolate kiss made to look like melted witches. Oh, are we going to serve a glass of witch's brew alongside it? Robin, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, your Nestix. We have an 055 in store. What? An 055? I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I don't have any Nestix on me today. Help, I ate SCP-999 on accident. Well, I am sorry to say, Intern Serenity, that thing is going to tickle all the way down. I do not envy your situation. Ugh. Also, I had to have a little laugh yesterday. This is a tangent. SCP Realized recently put out a video, and it is a size comparison of various anomalies. You know, it's important for us to keep track of these things. So, while we were dealing with this, I had to absolutely roast SCP Realized when I discovered an error in their rankings. Let's see if you can find out what's wrong with SCP Realized's video. Oh, hold on one second. Let me, in case there's actual audio on this video. There we go. Boom. So the Living Lego 387, the iPods, Josie the Half Cat, SCP-999, with many voices, 939, an average human, 096 the Shy Guy, SCP-5160, the Intelligent Tank, 2086, quote, rerouting, SCP-002, the Living Room, 4.8 meters, 044, World War Era Molecular Fission Cannon, the Average Two-Story House, SCP-3140, Botanical Warfare, SCP-0993, the Unclean One, SCP-6666-A, the Demon Hector, SCP-2863, the Gasha Dokuro. There's the Statue of Liberty for reference to SCP-2406, the Colossus, LTE-0851 Cetus Crocodilian Kraken. So the GOC has that one. SCP-3008 the Lamellant. SCP-962 the Tower of Babel. The Eiffel Tower for reference. SCP-2256 Very Tall Thing. The Flying City of Autopopodopolis 4840. SCP-5140 literally Mount Everest. But then, the grand finale. We go to space. The Leviathan, the end of history, the 9th planet. When day breaks, it's 5909, the Endless Shrimp. So the first thing I did is I saw that on TikTok where it was shorter and it doesn't get all the way to the Endless Shrimp. And so I said, hey, what's the deal with no Endless Shrimp on your size check? And then told me that it was on the YouTube channel, so I went to check that out. I mean, the shrimp isn't endless. It is several light years in length. Specifically, it is approximately 2.1 light years. What it was advertising is the Endless Shrimp deal at Red Lobster. Yes, that anomaly is literally just a space-bound shrimp billboard for Red Lobster's Endless Shrimp. And the second thing I realized on, that wasn't the shrimp thing, many of you in the chat called out as soon as it came up. They said SCP-999 is 75 centimeters. Meanwhile, all of us here know, because we've talked about it in the past multiple times, SCP-999 as a slime blob is approximately 1 meter tall and 2 meters wide. Sorry, a fly. So yes, 2 meters by 1 meter. That is a lot of slime. That is quite the amount. So whoever it was a while ago who said you ate 999, no, you didn't. Maybe you ate a scoop, but you didn't eat the whole thing. I defy you to eat the whole 1 by 2 meters of slime. 2 by 1, I should say. Why can't y'all just solve world hunger by getting that shrimp's meat? Well, it's in outer space. And our spacefaring technology, at least in my universe, is not that far advanced yet. Robin, thank you for donating again. We have an 055 chat. Take your nestics and welcome to ANTI-MEMETICS. You're in for a wild one. Well, if you've got nestics, I guess. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. Have you tried SCP-067? Give it to Steve. Mine can wait. As I said, we have requisitioned SCP-067, and we are hoping that we can get some answers from Steve that way. I would prefer just to help recover Steve's memory, which is why I want to look into amnestics and anti-memetics today. See if there's anything we don't know about that could come in handy. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Told you someone wanted to eat the tickle blob. Well, it's not shocking to me that someone wanted to. It's shocking to me that security let it happen. NCR Ranger the Void. Welcome to Mobile Task Force Captainship here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially in the battle against the White Names. I am currently experiencing a hangover. Zerdrin, I am sorry for your condition. That is a bad one. Oh, I have one, SCP-3008. Well, he makes you not remember, but he chill. No idea how he will help, though. Is that, Mr. Forget? 909. Mr. Forgetful. Hey, do you think that there's a link between the fact that SCP-909 is the entity known as Mr. Forgetful from the Little Mister series by Dr. Wondertainment, but do you think there's a connection that SCP-3000, which is the massive, if not infinite, aquatic entity that we feed D-Class in order for it to excrete the chemical Y909, do you think that there's a relationship between Y909 and Mr. Forgetful being SCP-909? Am I the only one putting wires together here? Time check, I must know. We are currently 28 minutes into an hour-long stream, so just over 30 minutes left. It is Mr. Forgetful, and yeah, probably, hell, ask him about the Little Misters, and he probably knows Reginald, asked him to write down the blueprints and stuff, and actually, you may be onto something. You are not alone. Why always an hour? Well, it depends on the day, and it depends on what I'm up to. I've got work to do today afterwards, so I can't stay late. Is there... Oh, I want to see if there's a link there. Are SCP-909 and SCP-3000 related? I'm not seeing anyone putting this together. All right, well, that's troublesome. I was watching your channel since 10 this morning to be here when your stream started, and the instant I stopped keeping an eye on your channel, you started streaming. Surprise. Comes out of nowhere. Is hair dye allowed at the facilities? Wouldn't that mess with chemicals or anything? No, it's non-anomalous hair dye. It's not going to interact with anything. Marker the Oliver, thank you for your level 1 researcher message for 1 month here at the Foundation. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially in the battle against the White Names. I didn't know I had this chance. Hi. Is this the first time you've discovered the member messages? Well, congratulations. Wait, so there is anomalous hair dye in the facility? Well, not that I know of, but there's so many SCPs, I wouldn't be shocked if something like that existed somewhere. And Clover on Pause, thank you for your 4-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service as well. And sup to you too. Ranger Ghost, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Curious about that anomalous hair dye thing. SCP hair dye. 2994 is the anomalous hairstyle I think Puppet Boy was talking about. Yes. SCP-2944, codename an anomalous haircut. Colloquially called the Redacted, and an extensively specific set of instructions must be followed in order to create the anomalous properties. Once you do this incredibly convoluted haircut, the wearer will gain conscious control over each hair follicle on their body. The abilities are proportional to how well the instructions were followed. You will have more control if your haircut is more accurate. Several test subjects were capable of discerning the shape of objects simply by brushing them through fine body hair without contacting the skin. In addition to being capable of undulating motions, the hair is also less receptive to static buildup. Users can no longer control follicles once they fall or are plucked out. If you have longer hair, you can also wrap it around body parts. Several D-Class were able to push a button, flip a light switch, and hold lightweight objects with a lock of hair. So, yes, you could be a hair-based superhero with just one particular haircut. Nova Flame, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. And Marker the Oliver, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a slice of cheesecake on your way past the commissary. I may or may not be overthinking the fact that you put me in a medically induced coma. How much is real? Was my wife and kids real? How long have I been here? Can I leave? I thought I escaped. Oh, woe is me. I thought I was on the land, but actually I was contained the whole time, and I'm having an existential crisis. What a world. What a world for you to deal with, the little center of your own virtual universe. Oh, Java Name, thank you for your generous 20 gifted subs to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you have received one of those memberships, I highly recommend you thank Java Name for their generosity. Intern Summers, the way you're asking questions makes me not want to answer. I am in an undisclosed location with an audiophonics lab. That is all you're getting out of me. Does the SCP Foundation fund the live streams? No, this is unrelated to the Foundation Oversight Committee. This is more of a situation that I personally do as a service to the Foundation. On top of which, in universes where the masquerade is broken, I also function as the public relations for the public. So we have this office hours, these coffee breaks for you, the Foundation staff. It's just out of the goodness of my own heart, after all. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I bought a few bottles of Dr. Pepper. Do you want me to drop one off at your office? Yes, a little pepper in my step could be good today. I'm going to be SCP-049 for Halloween. Oh, wonderful. You have fun plague doctoring, a classic Halloween costume. Just don't do so in the Foundation facility, because you will get restrained and contained. How does the Foundation get amnestics? Do they come from an SCP or do they make them somehow? Intern CC. Depending on your universe and canon, there can be multiple answers to this, but at least one we were talking about just earlier is SCP-3000. SCP-3000 is a giant undersea eel entity, and when we feed it human beings, D-class after all, it excretes a black viscous fluid that we have designated Y909. And Y909, it's a dark gray substance, not black. That would be clown milk. Clown milk is a black viscous substance. Y909 is a dark gray viscous substance. You got to be careful about which one. And so yes, Y909, discovered by one of our researchers, is a critical component in several modern and experimental amnestic compounds. Specifically, the following amnestics now contain a refined version of the Y909 compound. Class A, Class D, Class E, Class X, Class XX, 2 redacted kinds, the ATZAC class experimental compound, the Foster class experimental compound, and the Ellipse class experimental compound. All of our amnestics were improved by the introduction of Y909 into the recipe. So we had amnestics before Y909 came along, but it's just made them so much better. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a handful of saltwater taffy on your way past the commissary. What a generous and intelligent site director. I sure hope nothing terrible happens to him. Me too. I just got here. Are we learning about amnestics because of Steve? Lol. You guessed right. The mission is to come up with any sort of amnestics or memetics that might be able to reinstate Steve's memory. As a last-ditch effort, we have SCP-067 being transferred from another site to hopefully use it to write Steve's life story and therefore find out what happened in case we can't restore Steve's memory. How giant are we talking for SCP-3000? SCP-3000, do we believe that it is possibly infinite? If I'm remembering correctly? SCP-3000 is a massive aquatic serpentine entity strongly resembling a giant moray eel. The full length of SCP-3000 is impossible to determine, but is hypothesized to be between 600 and 900 kilometers. The head of SCP-3000 measures roughly 2.5 meters in diameter, and sections of the body proper as large as 10 meters in diameter. So, we believe that 3000 is not infinite, and is estimated between 600 and 900 kilometers in length. This is in comparison to such entities like SCP-5320. All praise the glorious fish that just goes on forever. Hail its infinitude. Amen. Let's get drunk at work. That's SCP-5320. That fish really do be infinite. The loop fish. It's not a loop. It has been clearly stated to not be a loop by the word of the God, the Almighty and fearful. We are of it, not of it of us, Radiger. So yes, may we find the head and the tail. This is a little too intense for our current scenario. And that is not correct. When? Wait, was I there when she said it? Junior Researcher Sally, if you go back far enough in the stream VODs, you will see the daily streams from when I streamed with Rad and other folks like Toad King Studios. And there, Rad was blatantly asked, is the fish a loop? And denied it completely. So, you can go back to that stream and you can mark it in your calendars, people. You heretics! Maybe I need to find some amnestics for you all, since you seem to not be able to remember that the fish is in a loop. Refreshing the chat. Junior Researcher HLG, are you talking about Pubert from the TikTok? I'll wait for the stream delay to get a response to that. Yes, you are. Okay. So, yes. Listen. The super cool petting zoo has a menagerie of anomalies, and not all of them can be floating hand spider cute, okay? Pubert is a nice enough entity. You just gotta go with it, man. You just gotta go with it. What's a floating hand spider? Well, if you search this channel by highest viewed videos, in the top, I think it's number 2, you will find the floating hand spider shorts. Could SCP-173 kill Goku? I guess if Goku didn't know what was coming, because 173 is quite fast, but also Goku can punch through concrete pretty squarely, so that statue will be destroyed. I'm drawing George the Chinchilla, but I remember that I need to reread the George the Chinchilla article before drawing it. Yes, it does have numerous descriptors. That's in part of the George the Chinchilla entity. Is SCP-3086 for those unfamiliar. George the Chinchilla is a fictional character that comes to life when it is brought into being. Now, what this means is that if you write about George the Chinchilla in a story, then the text will start talking to you, and it will change. And if you draw a picture of George the Chinchilla, that picture will start to move around the page. Now, this is complicated by the fact that A, it is contagious, meaning that if you've got an iteration of George the Chinchilla on a piece of paper, and then you touch it to another piece of paper, that other piece of paper gains a George the Chinchilla instance as well. And so imagine you have a notebook and you touch George the Chinchilla to the notebook, and then all of the pages within become George the Chinchillas. And then imagine if you drew it on a computer, in an email, and it goes everywhere. Propagates to websites. It's very hard to contain George on the internet. Now, that being said, it can be deleted, so there is that. But we have a secondary complication with George. This is that you can create George by accident. So most of the time, you would think people would start to write down. The first thing we would do is we make sure no one knows about George the Chinchilla, because then they can't make any Georges. But then, if you do something close enough, then it turns into George. So, you know, George is a teal chinchilla of the Mickey Mouse rubber hose era cartoons that wears jaunty gloves and spats and clothing the jaunty style. And so we specifically have to monitor sites where, such as DeviantArt or fur community websites, because they might just make George by accident. It's happened before. Interesting. Time check. We are at 50 minutes of an hour-long stream, so we have 10 minutes left on stream today, everyone. For entities like George that replicate, how do you decide which replications to contain and which to terminate? Well, for George specifically, we delete as many as we can find. The goal is to only have one iteration of George locked in a Faraday cage on the laptop with no internet, and to just leave it there so that we have it in containment and can run tests as we want. But, yes, multiple of these anomalies get incinerated or otherwise disposed of by the achromatic abatement department, because otherwise we just have too many of them. Cat Girl ASMR, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Klondike bar on your way past the commissary. And thank you for that little doggo emoji. Dr. Sherman, what if SCP-4521 physically can't scream? Intern Lawrence, I'm disappointed in you. Where's your wherewithal? Where's your moxie? Your go-get-em spirit? Don't let a defeatist attitude like that hold you back. That tree can and will scream. I guarantee it. Burnt Pie. Thank you for being the person I noticed who pointed out that the likes are above the view count of today's stream. Congratulations, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename The Signal Boosters. You've hit that like button enough that it's gonna make YouTube's algorithm tell people, hey, this is a good stream. Maybe we should send more people to Psi-42. And then when they get there, they'll see this quirked up white boy with the sauce talking about SCPs, and they'll be like, oh, what are SCPs? I don't know about that. And then they will be intrigued, and they will be the SCP fans they were born to be. They just didn't know it yet. And so thank you for helping me to support the SCP Wiki the best way I can by yapping. Dr. Sherman, why is George in my channel emote section? Oh, boy. There is a George the Chinchilla breach in our very chat right now. I can't imagine how much fun the green names will have as George continues to multiply in the chat. It is almost like being a member and getting access to those member emojis is quite the benefit. Curious. Void Piercer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself an ice cream sandwich on your way past the commissary. How would the Foundation deal with the Radius from the VR game Into the Radius? Well, I don't know what the Radius is. So while chat tries to figure out what's going on with George in there, let me look up the Radius. Into the Radius VR. But what is the Radius? I'm not seeing any sort of wiki that would give me answers about what it actually is, Void Piercer. Explore the Pachorsk zone filled with surreal landscapes and dangerous anomalies. Defend yourself with realistic firearms, recover strange artifacts, scavenge for loot, and uncover the mysteries of this unforgiving dystopian environment. Is the Radius the name of the area? Void Piercer? Let me pop up over here real quick. Click, check. No more information there. Frustrating. I apologize that I can't give you a good answer of this. I just can't find any information on what it actually is that we're talking about. I guess the game is niche enough that there's not a big fan wiki or anything yet. Oh, wait! Into the Radius. Yes, survival shooter. Locations, items, weapons, entities, anomalies. So what is the Radius, though? I apologize. Even this little fan wiki is not giving me a clue of what the Radius is. Did Steve actually get dosed with anti-memetics? Combining amnestic and nestic drugs is not recommended by SkipNet. That's correct. Nestics and amnestics are not to be mixed if you can help it. However, when running Steve's blood test, there was no sign of either in his blood. So, it's interesting. We can try the nestics because there seems to be nothing in there right now, and medical's working on that angle. I just want to see if there's any other things we could go around, because the only other lead we have to chase down is that before we put him in that medically induced coma, he was dealing with, he was gibbering inside, and we determined that that might be a reference to SCP-3008 codename Inside, but we haven't found any leads on what that relation with Steve would be yet. Senior Researcher Frogman, what you just shared there and asked what is the blank, that is Josie the Half-Cat, SCP-529. Void Piercer, thank you for donating again to clarify. I'm sorry I couldn't get the answers immediately. There's this large area of the Soviet Union that basically got consumed by a huge circle of fog, and it's split up by smaller circles that get more dangerous the further you go in. Okay, so it's the zone itself, the zone of anomalies. So in that case, what the Foundation do is we would have to form a perimeter and not let people in or out. There are a lot of anomalous zones that we have to cordon off so people don't wander in and get themselves killed, or worse, reveal the secrets of the anomalous to the rest of the world. So yes, we have to lock that down. AA Blackwood, thank you for correcting me that Josie the Half-Cat is 527 and not 529. My apologies. There's so many numbers on this database. Puppet Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a snow cone on your way past the commissary. Did Steve's memories go inside? Well, if the concept of transcendence can become inside, then perhaps someone's memories as concept could be made to go inside, and then the question is, what would they be inside of? What is inside if the memories are inside of? Okay, interesting. Zerdrin, I cannot think of a scarier thing than a horde of Dr. Clefs and one Dr. Sherman going trick-or-treating. That sounds terrifying. All right, now Senior Researcher Frogman, I believe you. Are you correcting me or trolling me? What's happening here? 529 is Josie the Half-Cat. AA Blackwood, you lied to me. Why? Why would you do this? Mr. Fish is 527. We should get a clef or desk emoji in here somewhere. Sally, add clef and a mahogany desk to our spreadsheet. Yes, I approve. Why is the name of the Josie emote 527? Okay, so that's where I messed it up. Dr. Chair emoji, Amber? I don't think... I think the chat might riot if we don't have a Dr. Chair emoji. I mean, that's just so important. Yep. Okay, so Desk, Clef, and Dr. Chair have been added to the list. And meanwhile, I'm going to go and edit the member emoji name so I don't get annoyed by that later. Emoji, that was 529, Sherman. Get it right. Boom. If it didn't change now, it will change the next time we stream. James, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself one of those ice cream sandwiches, but with the chocolate chip cookies as the sandwich breads on your way past the commissary. Howdy, Dr. Sherman, how are you doing today? Well, I'm a bit frustrated, I'm a bit tired, but I think we may have done some good research here into the Steve scenario. If he's not been amnesticized, but what if his memories are inside? Interesting. Can we add Jeff to the emoji list? Zerdrin, I like Jeff a lot, but how do you signify Jeff as an emoji? Because he is just a dude from New Zealand. Honestly, I headcanon him as looking at like Brett McKenzie from Flight of the Conchords. Anyways, chat. We are here at the end of today's stream. I've actually gone over a little bit. I got distracted. And at the end of every stream, as a tradition around these parts, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. Now, of course, I'm going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones that I personally wrote. That would be cheating. But if you enjoy and would like to read the SCPs I have written, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCP that I have written, and also there's some links on there. Some links that people are very often interested in finding, but they just don't look hard enough. And so, yeah, you should check out the author page. And while you're there, you can follow the links to become a patron or a YouTube channel member. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat if you want to donate to us one at a time rather than once a month. Either way, we appreciate your direct donations and helping us keep the lights on around the house. Meanwhile, if you can't donate, then that's okay. We're an arts community. Starving artists is a thing. We all have been broke gang before, and current times dictate we will be broke gang. So as long as you're here in the chat, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, chatting, hanging out, having a good time with us, then you are helping the YouTube algorithm bring people our way, and that means you are an honored member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename the Signal Boosters. And it's because of you guys that we are able to bring people into the SCP fandom and keep things chugging along, supporting the wiki and its authors, artists, animators, filmmakers, game devs, merchandisers, and all that. Speaking of merchandisers, remember, this is the last day to get the SCP-3008 comic book, Maze of Shelves, at the link in our chat or in the links in the description. And full color comic. And let's see, is there another spoiler I can give you guys? Here, I'm going to show you a page. And I just want you to see Man's here like, and you empty-headed bastards, look at this. Store closed. Don't look. Everyone keep your eyes closed. Don't look at it! Boom! What could he be waving at the IKEA employees there? What could he be waving in their faces while saying, don't look at it, everyone? I wonder what might be about to happen on the next page of that comic. Anyways, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3099, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a bit of a doozy. Speed round, 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031-5175-5320-8980. Content warning on the last one. Java name, thank you for donating one more Site42 membership. I think I saw you say something like, all right, let's see who the lucky person is. And whoever that lucky person was, make sure you thank Java name for their generosity and helping us win the battle of the white names. And someone said check the Ko-Fi real quick. There are no Ko-Fis today. But thanks for having me check just in case. So, without further ado, I hope you guys had fun. I hope you learned something. This has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site42. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Say goodbye, not knowing when the truth in my whole life began. Say goodbye, not knowing how to cry. You taught me that, and I'll remember the strength that you gave me, now that I'm standing on my own. I'll remember the way that you saved me. I'll remember. The credit song is I'll Remember by Madonna. Felix, thank you for a last-minute donation, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some Twinkies on your way past the commissary. Help, I ended up in Texas, though I like it here. Well, Texas ain't too bad. Yep. Make sure you report to your nearest Foundation site for containment. Cheers, cheers, and take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.